Hello everybody, this is Stephen Pugh of the Home Bible College. This is John chapter 11 and we're going to be reading a particular verse which struck me today. It's April the 25th and John chapter 11, and the particular verse that I want to read to you I'll explain in just a moment. This is the incident in the life of the Lord Jesus in which he raises Lazarus from the dead. This was the Lazarus that was the brother of Mary and Martha of Bethany. It was the place where the Lord Jesus was often received as a house guest. And so he was very attached to the family. But Lazarus got sick and then he died. And a message is sent to Jesus saying, if you'd have been here, he wouldn't have died. They knew that. But they also say that even now that he's died, God hears you, and we believe you can do something about this disaster that's come into our home. When the Lord Jesus finally arrives, Lazarus has been dead for 4 days. The Lord Jesus had deliberately stayed away for 2 more days before he came, because he was going to turn this family tragedy into a messianic sign. The Jews believed that when a person died, there was always the possibility of a resurrection up to 4 days, but after 4 days the spirit has returned to God and it then becomes a complete impossibility. So impossible that the only person that would ever be able to bring about a resurrection at this time would be the Messiah of God. That's why it's a messianic sign. However, the Lord Jesus finally arrives, and Martha says to him, she says, that I know that even now, whatever you will ask of God, he will give it you. And Jesus says to her, your brother will rise again from the dead. And she answers, and she in her answer betrays that she understands the correct theology of Israel. She says, I know that my brother will rise in the last day. Okay, I know. So they believed in the resurrection of the righteous and in the resurrection of the unrighteous. Jesus says to her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And he that liveth and believeth in me will never die. Do you believe this? Now let me ask you, do you believe this? Is this what you believe? Let's just unpack that a little bit. Jesus describes himself in 2 fundamental ways. He says, I am the resurrection and I am the life. And then he explains the difference between those 2 things. He says, I am the resurrection, because he that believeth in me, even if he dies, he will still be raised again from the dead. So the Lord Jesus is the resurrection for those that have died. But he says, he that liveth and believeth in me shall never die. That's the life. The Lord Jesus is the life. So the question we've got to ask is, how is it that those who believe in him, who are alive, are never going to die? How's that going to happen? Well, during the lifetime of the Lord Jesus, he wasn't talking about Christianity. He wasn't talking about anything to do with becoming a Christian. All of his ministry was in the context of the law. And in the law, they looked forward to the Messianic kingdom. And the Lord Jesus is explaining, look, I'm going to come again. But when I come again, this is way after the church and way after the rapture and right at the very end of the tribulation period. He says, when I come again for you, my ancient people, he that believeth in me, even though he dies, yet shall he live. So at the beginning of the millennial reign of the Lord Jesus, there's going to be a resurrection of the righteous who believe in the Lord Jesus in order that they might physically go in to this kingdom. But, so for those who've died, he's the resurrection. But for those that are still alive, and of course that'll be very few people, because the Lord Jesus says that unless those days were shortened, there'd be nobody survive. But he that liveth and believeth in me shall never die. When they meet the Lord Jesus in that day and they're all converted to the Lord Jesus and they enter into this new relationship, not like the old relationship under the law, but they enter into this new relationship in a new covenant, those that have never died yet will never die. They will live right through that kingdom and come right out at the other end of it, ready for eternity. That's the wonderful truth. The Lord Jesus says, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he be dead, yet shall he live. And he that liveth and believeth in me shall never die. God bless you. Great to talk to you. Look forward to speaking to you again tomorrow. God bless.